Hi guys, welcome back to a new video of mine, and this is not clickbait, it's very real. I am getting married and I am engaged. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I decided to do a video with my husband.
What's up guys?
We're gonna do a Q&A.
Before we get into questions, I actually want to say something. So look, I don't think any relationship is 100% perfect. I think that a lot of YouTubers will come on and they'll do like a Q&A about a relationship and they're just gonna make it look like everything is rainbows and butterflies. At the end of the day, you get into relationships to grow. And a marriage, in my opinion, and I think we agree on this. Do you want me to say that?
I want you to say whatever you want.
Okay. A marriage is about...
This is a safe space.
This is a safe space. I think the purpose of life is creation and evolution. So you get together in a relationship with someone, you get married, you create together, you create success, a family, and then you evolve together.
Oh my God! Wow!
I think very deeply about the world, and you think the same way.
But then after that, I had this overwhelming sensation. It was like, you know, you would say it's like a voice in your head, but I had this overwhelming sense that I was going to marry you and that you were like the answer to my prayers in so many ways. And you're literally like, I feel like I manifested you. And I was sitting thinking, oh my God, I feel like I manifested you.
Yeah.
And then from that moment...
That was one of the questions as well,
like,
by the way. Do you guys think you manifested each other? I really think I did that.
This is what the Wizard Liz posted on her Instagram story about 10 hours ago. Funny how my intuition was screaming at me in this video. Thank God for what I found out today. I've been through worse in life. This will most definitely not break me. Women, choose yourself and walk away from the first time.
I always say your partner should add to your life, but it shouldn't be your whole life. Someone said, what would you do if your husband left you or whatever? I'm like, I mean, I would just continue with my life, you know? I still have my own life. I have my own finances. I don't need to be here.
I will never ever create a fake narrative for social media. I will not preach something and not take the advice myself. Landon decided to make a Snapchat account and reach out to a girl to meet up. He was just with me in London, made a whole book about how much he loves me. Anyways, the girl reached out to me and my friend today showed us evidence. He called the relationship fake. Meanwhile, my cats are with him in Dallas. All my stuff is there in our apartment and oh, I'm 4 months pregnant. He says he's incredibly sorry, but honestly, I feel like I didn't know him at all. I feel stupid for ignoring the signs and dreams I had that I even told him about. And he told me I was crazy. Listen to your intuition, women. Men want to lead the world, but can't even control their lust. It's weak. A man that can't control his lust will never be able to lead. I'm absolutely heartbroken and shocked. My haters can go celebrate, haha, so funny. I will always have the last laugh though. He lost everything and I gained everything. Thank God. Thank you to Peyton for showing me early on what kind of man he is. Bless you and may God give you everything you want and more in this life. I'm going to sell my engagement ring, around 100,000, and donate the money to single moms. More power to women. Amen. Okay, I'm not going to waste your time. If you clicked on this video, then you definitely know who the Wizard Liz is. And if you don't, or maybe you've seen her face here and there, but don't really know who she is, then just know this. She is a woman who built her entire career around helping other women heal. She teaches them how to raise their standards, how to recognize toxic patterns, and how to build confidence and self-worth. Her advice isn't just about beauty or luxury or looking put together. It's about choosing yourself, healing your inner child, and never settling for less than you deserve. So when someone like Liz, someone known for being wise, composed, spiritually grounded, and confident, gets betrayed by the very person she chose to build a future with, it shakes people. Like how? I'm a guy, and I know what the dating market looks like. I can tell you for free that most women, no, not even most, like 99% of them, are not on the Wizard Liz's level of intellect or emotional maturity. She has such strong values, and I honestly believe she's a genuinely kind person. Even if there were issues in the relationship, she seems like the kind of woman you could just talk to, like actually communicate and resolve it without yelling or toxicity. So how does she get cheated on? I don't get it. She's obviously going to be an amazing mom, let alone a great wife because of the values she holds. I truly don't understand how her husband decided to fumble such a healthy relationship. And to make it even worse, the Wizard Liz is 4 months pregnant.
What?
This doesn't just feel like a cheating scandal. It feels like a full-on betrayal of everything she stands for. And it's genuinely painful to watch. Just 2 weeks before this, Liz and her husband Landon posted a Q&A video on YouTube. The tone of the video was warm, soft, romantic, and deeply intimate. They talked about how they met. Landon shared a dramatic story about seeing her at the Athens airport, feeling like he had stepped into another dimension, and recognizing her instantly.
It's time to go home. I get my bag. I start walking to leave the airport, and as I'm walking, I try to be observant, but I'm like looking around, and then I walked a step and I felt like I entered just like a new dimension. Not to sound crazy, but I took a step forward and I felt like I walked through a veil almost. And then immediately I sensed that I need to look up right over here, and I look up and I see Liz sitting.
He spoke as if she were the answer to his prayers, as if he had manifested her. It sounded like a movie. He even wrote her a book by hand, filled with declarations of love. In the moment, it felt beautiful, but looking back now, it almost feels like a performance. In that same Q&A, Liz gently brought up things that, in hindsight, seem very serious. She said he was possessive and controlling. She mentioned how he tried to bully her into not doing certain things. She smiled as she said it, and he brushed it off with, "I just care too much." But now, it's clear that this wasn't just teasing or an awkward dynamic. It was a red flag, and many people who watched that video noticed it too. Now that the truth is out, viewers are replaying the footage and realizing just how uncomfortable and odd some of those moments really were. I never trusted him to begin with. Him saying he had an adoration for Liz while being in a relationship already cracked it for me.
Hit that like button if you think Liz is just so beautiful.
Okay, don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay, anyway, so how did you guys meet?
We've kind of told this a little bit.
We've talked about this before, but I want to clarify actually the story because I've seen some stuff online that's not true. But basically, me and Landon first met now 4 years ago.
Something like that.
4 years ago, Landon messaged me, he DM'd me on Instagram, and he DM'd me a book that I should read. Then I was getting into my previous relationship, so we did message like back and forth.
Pretty much, one day I opened my Instagram, and this is when, I guess they still do it now, but you would get like recommended posts, and I think Liz's content was just starting to blow up, and so I got a recommended post about her account, and I saw her, and I immediately was like, oh my gosh, there's something special about this person. I don't know what it is. Obviously you're so beautiful, but there was something deeper. And so I was like, I'm gonna send her a message. What should I say? And then I realized I just want to add value. Maybe there's something I could put you on. And so I sent her a book recommendation for a book called The Master Key System, which is the best book I've ever read. So I highly recommend it.
I remember I looked at his pictures and you really didn't look how you look right now. I just thought, oh, he's so cute. He looks so nerdy, you know,
I think I look older now. Yeah, nerd though. I'm a nerdy look.
Yeah, but no, now I feel like you've evolved a little bit.
Upper nerd.
Upper nerd.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, when I saw this picture, I was like, oh, he looks cute. But obviously I didn't think anything of it. We just talked a little and that was it. I got into my relationship. You also got into a relationship then. So we were both just living our lives and
but in my head I adored you, to be honest. Every time that you would send me a message, I got just uniquely excited.
Unfortunately, it was very obvious, at least to me, that he was playing a character. They seemed to have rushed the relationship because he checked off boxes, but he obviously studied what she wanted from a man and acted like it. He also left his girlfriend at the time to be with her, so it all kind of tracks. Just very unfortunate, but I did see some comments warning her early on that I wish she listened to. Liz is deaf in a tough spot though because of the nature of her influencing. Honestly, it's pretty brave of her to be so vulnerable and honest, knowing that a lot of people are probably rejoicing at the chance to say, told you so. I didn't think they were going to last. He always gave off weird and loser vibes. I'm surprised that she's pregnant. When he said he knew he was in love within 38 hours of meeting Liz, I knew something was off. You don't fall in love with someone that fast. That is not love. That is infatuation. I feared Liz was getting love bombed because everything he said came across as love bombing.
I was a creature.
Creature. This thing over here.
I told this woman that I loved her within 36 hours of knowing her, and I literally told her within 36 hours, I was like, look.
Landon's behavior in that video is something many women online are now calling love bombing. He presented himself as this deeply spiritual man who adored Liz's energy and wanted to protect her. He frequently used phrases like, I feel led by God, or I manifested you. That kind of language becomes dangerous when it's used to fast-track a relationship and dodge accountability. Because what it really does is put the other person on a pedestal. It makes them feel like this love is destined, like it's fate. And that illusion makes it much harder to recognize red flags when they start to appear. This whole story is a wake-up call for a lot of women. Liz did everything right. She took her time, she worked on herself, she listened to her body and her intuition. She genuinely believed she had met someone who matched her emotionally, spiritually, and intellectually. But in the end, it turns out he was just mirroring her. He became the man he knew she wanted, just long enough to win her trust. And the timing of it all is not just sad, it's cruel. Because she is 4 months pregnant. That's supposed to be a time of bonding, of preparing for motherhood, of peace and calm. Instead, she's now dealing with betrayal, heartbreak, and the reality that she is carrying a child connected to a man she can no longer trust. 4 months pregnant, this is so fucked. She deserves so much better. And what's worse is that she is pregnant. How could he? Cheating in general is awful, but I have genuine hatred for men who cheat on their pregnant wife specifically. That's the most vulnerable a woman will ever be, and that's when you decide to disrespect her? Ugh, I feel really bad for her. Finding out your partner is cheating sucks enough, but to find out while pregnant? That's a whole new level of shitty. The fact that this man didn't just just cheat, but did so while she was pregnant, is what makes this story so deeply disturbing to people. It reflects a complete lack of empathy, a lack of care, a lack of love. And what's worse is that he didn't just betray her. He disrespected the family they were in the middle of building. He shattered something sacred. And yet, in the middle of all this pain, Liz is standing tall. She is heartbroken, yes, but she is also clear. She's not making excuses. She's not hiding behind a polished, curated image. She's showing everything. She's being honest. She is choosing herself, even while pregnant, even while vulnerable. That is not weakness. That is strength. Real, painful, human strength. She could have stayed silent to preserve a perfect online persona, but the fact that she chose to speak out about this so publicly shows just how strong she really is. I kind of feel bad for her. I don't even watch her that much, but I've come across her videos on TikTok often, and I really like the message she spreads, especially for young women who are still figuring themselves out. This whole situation is just so sad. And then there's the ring. She's selling her engagement ring, which is worth around $100,000, and donating the money to single mothers. That act alone is symbolic. It's powerful. She is literally turning her pain into purpose. And that's something most people wouldn't be able to do, especially while carrying a child. And it really makes you think, how many women are in relationships where the man seems perfect on the outside but is secretly building an exit plan behind their back? How many are in situations where their intuition is screaming at them, and yet they're constantly being told they're just overthinking? Liz's story isn't just hers alone. It's the story of countless women who try to love openly, who lead with empathy and patience, and get punished for it. That is emotional violence. It's cruelty. A man who wrote a handwritten book about how much he loved her. A man who sat in soft lighting on YouTube talking about God and soulmates. A man who looked into the camera and said he wanted to grow old with her. That same man was texting another woman behind her back. He made a Snapchat account, reached out to a girl, and planned to meet up. And when he got caught, what did he say? That the relationship was fake. That's what he called it. Fake. All of this while her body is changing, while she's carrying their child, while she's trying to rest, to trust, to build a home. And he had the nerve to call their love fake. It's beyond heartbreaking. It's devastating. Give an ugly man a chance and he'll think he rules the world. And this isn't even about looks. It's about character, about having a nasty heart. The audacity he must have had to even think about cheating on his pregnant wife is beyond comprehension. And then, as if that wasn't enough, he posts a sob story on Instagram, apologizing, praising himself for at least taking accountability, as if that fixes anything, as if saying sorry erases the hurt. The amount of rage people are feeling right now is off the charts. This wasn't just a tragedy. It wasn't rejection. It was redirection. It was a lesson. Just days before all this came out, she was in London with him. Her cats were still in Dallas. Her things were in their shared apartment. She had no clue what was coming, but she had dreams, literal dreams, that something was wrong. She told him. And what did he do? He dismissed her, called her crazy, made her doubt herself. But now we all know the truth. She was right. Her intuition was screaming, and he made her feel guilty for listening to it. That's what hurts most. Not just what he did, but how he twisted things to make her feel like the problem for even sensing it. And how did she find out? Not from him, from the girl he reached out to, a stranger. That woman had more respect for Liz than her own husband did. Let that sink in. Someone who owed Liz nothing still chose to protect her. That speaks volume. Liz isn't merely losing a man, she's losing a future, a shared vision, a home they dreamed up together. And she's doing it while her body is nurturing their baby, a child who will forever link her to the person who hurt her. That emotional burden is beyond most people's imagination. This situation also exposes the fantasy that many femininity coaches and influencers peddle, that once you heal yourself and become high value, you'll automatically attract a prince who treats you like royalty. Sure, that kind of love exists, but it isn't guaranteed, because men aren't trophies. They're human beings. And some people are simply broken. No matter how beautiful you are, no matter how much you love yourself, no matter how carefully you've built your safe space, Liz said she'll always have the last laugh. Maybe she will, because what he lost wasn't just a relationship. He lost a genuine woman, a woman of vision, grace, and power. He lost someone who loved him despite her fears, trusted him despite her doubts, who gave him a chance to be part of something sacred, and he threw it all away. For what? A Snapchat message, a moment of lust, a lie. Anyways, allow me to end this video here. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts or your own experiences. Let's talk about this openly. Let's support each other. And if you want more honest commentary like this, real stories, real people, real emotions, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next upload. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.